Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode here of the Scotty Sports Talk here on ESGNet, here inside the Highland Scotties Teambuilder Dynasty on NCAA Football 14. And today, of course, a little bit of a preview here of the big game coming up here. Well, one of the two big games coming up here. Of course, first we got to look at the Big 12 Championship, and we're taking on Baylor, the 24th ranked team in the nation, who are currently 8-4. Here in the Big 12, for the 8-4 for the season, but 6-3 in the Big 12. And of course, these two teams are going to collide in Dallas for this Big 12 game. And of course, Highland would like to repeat as Big 12 champions, I believe, for the third or fourth time. Try to see if they can get their third or fourth title since joining the Big 12. And of course, Baylor trying to knock off the #1 team in the nation. Of course, there you see the rankings between the two squads here, and of course we're the heavy favorite in this matchup here. And of course, obviously, our keys to the game are going to try to run the football as best as we can. That's been our bread and butter with Khalil Carter, who is of course one of the finalists for the Heisman Trophy. We're trying to see if we can get him that. But also too, try to keep our quarterback clean and upright with Thomas, and try to avoid any pitfalls when it comes to interceptions with him especially in this game, as we've been trying to do all season long. Now, Baylor had a really interesting season. They had won the first two games. They lost two straight against looks like Northern Illinois and then Cincy. Then they won against Iowa, and then lost both Arizona schools back-to-back weeks, and then went on a freaking run against Texas Tech, Oklahoma, Houston, and UCF, all three of those games at home, and then defeating TCU there on the at home. Especially those games against Oklahoma State, and those were all games they won on the road, and that's a tough thing to do, even for us. So you got to tip our hat to Baylor here. They've been on a run, and they've been on a great run as of late, and they want to try to continue that here, especially with this young man here, Eric Cook, a scrambling quarterback, 6'3", 207 pounds. This kid can throw the football. 23 touchdowns so far this season with 11 interceptions. He's thrown over 2,000 yards, and of course had a remarkable season. Now he's thrown 54% of his passes here completed. And don't let his arm fool you. This kid can take off when he wants to and just shoot out like a rocket out of that backfield with the scrambling ability he has. Even though it may not look like he can do much here, but he could definitely change things up. I've looked at game film, and they have some set runs that he's going to be. He does have some set plays where he will take off and run and kind of out of unexpectedly. You wouldn't how they have him set up there. You wouldn't think he would take off, but he is definitely a guy I will say that we will have to keep a close eye on because he does like to run the football, and he can break some tackles and get down the field here. And of course, he does have a great halfback there helping him out there in the running game. That is Sean Jones, the 6 foot, 220 pound redshirt junior there, helping him out in that competition as well. So there you see 11 rushing touchdowns this season. Of course, he's just short of 1,000 yards at 933 yards for the season. And of course, we'll see him utilized, I believe, also too in the passing game there. He's got a couple of receiving touchdowns as well this season. So he can, he's both running out of the backfield and can catch some screen passes as well. So that'd be a challenge there for our linebackers to have to deal with there. We haven't seen our linebackers have to deal with that too much. They're usually sitting back, waiting, or coming at or coming in as a blitz or something like that, trying to stop the run and whatnot. So. Sean Jones, definitely a guy that's one of our, not necessarily a top, in the top, top of our list of stopping in their offensive game, but If he gets, we've seen this before. We've seen running backs that we're not expecting to do much here, kind of just take off and just run and embarrass us. We've had a lot of those games here this season. So why not have another one? But yeah, he could definitely be a threat there if he is not handled in the proper way. So for us to do that, we're going to have to make sure that we can play well and make sure we can try to get him to fumble the ball or try to cause any issues from him coming out of that backfield and causing problems for us. Is the best way I can put it, I guess. So Sean Jones, junior, red shirt there. Sure, he'll probably have another year with him. He's got great acceleration. There you see his speed as well and agility as well. So yeah, he could definitely move around, cause some embarrassment there for our linebackers, and just bolt down the field with his abilities there. So got good ball carrying skills as well. Looks like carrying is good, trucking not bad either, pretty decent there. So yeah, he could definitely put a hurting on our guy, on our linebackers, and of course we're gonna try to do our best to try to run, try to blitz him as much as we possibly can, and kind of just stuff the middle there, and kind of force him to go on the outside and expert more energy that way. And then of course we got some good linebackers. Eric Washington, probably one of the best in the nation, to do that, just go in there and stop him. Brian Fontaine, 5'11", 200-pound senior, not the biggest, not the tallest wide receiver there, but he definitely can cause some problems there. He has 6 touchdowns so far this season. His longest reception was 75 yards. So he's one of those. I wouldn't say he kind of remind me a little bit of I'm trying to think now his name now. I was gonna say, I can't think of his name on top of my head here. But he's scrappy. He's a scrappy receiver. And of course, like I said, 5'11", not much height there. But if he can get mixed in the shuffle there very quickly, and I see Baylor again, trying to mix him up there, trying to maybe even deep ball there, because he can run. 96 speed, 90 acceleration. So, and of course, route running is is perfect there for him. Got great running routes. He can also catch in traffic as well. So he is definitely one of those players that I think that if they need to go deep, they will do so. So we got to find a good matchup with him when it comes to the corners and the safeties as well, and not let him get too far deep in that backfield there, because if he gets lost in the shuffle there, it could be a very long day for us defensively trying to stop him. And of course, we don't want Eric Cook to cook us there on the field in front of us, especially this is they're in their home state there. They're going to have home field advantage, so we got to make sure we keep Fontaine sealed up and not let him explode there on the field. But yeah, I think that will be a challenge there. Like I said, with Eric Cook taking off when he wants to, and if play breaks down, he can't get to Fontaine. We have to worry about the run. But then at the same time, if we don't contain Cook, then Fontaine could be the guy that can definitely cause problems for us there in the secondary, because obviously we have not seen too much play in the secondary. I think early on the season we had a little small issues there, but we kind of cleaned it up. But we haven't been really challenged. I think this will be the game that will be really challenged here. Not to mention, Baylor's actually known to be in the, I think I can't remember exactly where they're at when it comes to takeaways, but they're really good at takeaways. That's another thing I should have brought up too as well. They're good at takeaways. They can cause problems, force fumbles. They can also score defensively. So we're looking at a team that could really, if we don't play the type of football we want them to play early on, it could be a very long day. And like I said, we have not been challenged like that for quite some time. So I think Coach Bonds is really going to have to figure out a decent game plan here to stop them. Because, like I said, this is a team that can score. I think they can score almost close to 35 points a game. So this is not going to be a low-scoring game at all. Obviously, I think we're scoring averagely, I think, somewhere around 50 points a game. So this is not going to be a game that is just going to be, defense. I don't think there's going to be too much defense at all in this one. Marcus Horn, one of the younger, redshirt junior, 6'1", 203 pounds. You see a lot of pass deflections this year. He's had one interception. He's had a half a sack, but he's also around the ball quite a bit there. He's had 18 tackles so far this season. Great speed there, 92 speed, 92 accuracy. Of course, you see a man zone and press. Whew. This kid can really jam you up if need be. So yeah, he can definitely cause some problems there in the secondary. We're gonna try to do our best. To be honest, he'll probably be matched up with Randy Burns. So Randy Burns may not have a good day here, throwing him especially deep. I think maybe in the mid-range game we could probably get a good chance. I think if anything, it'll be more of the short passing game there for Randy Burns if you want to get to Randy. But Randy's really good at going deep, really causing problems there. So we might have to switch him around. I might have to move him in the depth chart around there so we can get some different locations where he can run at, and maybe change up some of the place where he's going to be at on the field there. So with a lot of different formations we have, try and have him play play the slot position, maybe have him play the outside position in a formation. Kind of just can really confuse them and not let them know really where Randy's going to be at any given time. So Marcus Horn, I'm not going to lie, really nervous about him because you take a look there, great play recognition as well as pursuit, and of course not bad tackle at all. So he can definitely be a problem for us there defensively. Luis Thomas, this redshirt senior as well, 6 foot, 220 pounds. There you see he has numbers so far this season. 2.5 sacks. This is by far his second lowest, I guess you could say, his career. Last year he had 5.5 sacks. This year, not so many. He's kind of declined in some of his numbers there, except for the tackles. He's probably about 4 off from the tackles. But as for tackles for loss, last season he had 24. This year he only has 15. So he is kind of sliding down there. But yeah, sacks as well. A lot of insiders say he was going to probably go in double digits this year in sacks, but there you see only 2.5 sacks there. So he's been having offensives have really found a way to kind of get him slowed down and get him busy with other dealings going on the field. So we're trying to make sure we can avoid him in this. He is an All-American. There you see his player skills there. Block shedding being the best. There you see play recognition as well, so he knows where he's at in the field. And of course, pretty decent zone, and of course pursuit is good, as well as tackle. So it looks like a very athletic guy that knows what he's doing on the field. But this year, for whatever reason, he's just not getting to the quarterback there as much. And we're hoping that'll be the case here today. We're hoping that he will not be able to get to us too often and cause some problems there for Thomas, because that's something we just still need right now from Thomas. We need to have Thomas playing really good football, error-free football, let's put it that way, and not just kind of have him relax in the pocket and let him be able to look down the field and make the appropriate plays to the guys that he wants to throw to. But Thomas, and this could be the game. This could be, this is usually the game. This game, this particular game itself, NCAA football 14. This is big games like this, championship games, your conference championship game or your bowl games, your big games you're playing. There's a lot of on the line, and this is probably a game that he's going to probably try to do his best to cause problems for us. So we got to be ready for it. Ryan Horn, no relate to the other guy named Horn. But there you see his numbers there: 23 tackles, 11 tackles for loss. He also has 4.5 sacks. He's just short this year, a little bit short just as well. Not as great a year like he had just last year, but of course he still has probably another year left on and left in play. But usually 4 deflections. Good edge rusher. Could definitely going to cause problems there. I'm sure for when it comes to the running game. And like I said, running game is going to be obviously it's important to us because that's our bread and butter. We try to do well and try to do good when it comes to that. And especially now with Carter up for the Heisman there, we want to have some pretty good numbers here. We got to at least have 100 yards and at least a touchdown here in this game for get him considered in the game here in this game, because the next guy that probably has a pretty decent numbers right now, that would be William Butler for Colorado State, who's also up for finalist for the Heisman as well. So, and of course you guys can check out that game because he is in a championship game, I believe, with let's see here, I believe it's I can't remember who it was that he's playing against in their in the Mountain West competition there. Who is he playing? Just because I just recorded it. Hawaii. So yeah, he has a big game against Hawaii for the Mountain West championship there. So, and you guys of course get to see that video here right after. Should be up here in the next day or two here on the channel. It's coming up here as we're going into right now, as we're talking about this right now. We're in the middle of championship conference championship week. Yeah, a lot of competition. Just take a look here at Baylor's injuries guys there. Their tight end, he's out for a week for the broken ribs, and of course ruptured disc there for Butler, the left guard. So like I was saying about the Heisman watch here, you see where they're pretty much neck and neck right now. Georgia, of course, not in a game and not in a postseason game. Of course, they do have a bowl game, but really not much for Foster to show off. So you're really looking at a 2-team or a 3-guy race right now. You got Carter for us, Butler for Colorado State, and of course Thomas for us. He's our quarterback. Newsome and of course Foster both are going to be in bowl games, but they won't be able to show off their abilities. They pretty much had last week to show off what they can do in their competition there. And of course, there you see he had that loss. Newsome had that loss against Auburn there. That very close game there, 35-28. I believe it was a game that we actually showed here on the channel. Can't remember if we did or not, but yeah. So really, it's a three-man race. 2 of those horses are ours, so we're going to try to make sure we do very well, try to balance out the gameplay wise for those 2, and try to bring home a Heisman Trophy, and of course not much more, and also bring home a Big 12 title as well. So but yeah, we did not play Baylor at all this year, and of course the way that Baylor's been playing, to wrap up things here in this video, Baylor has been on fire, and I don't know if we can extinguish them or not, but we're going to try to do our best and kind of cool them off here before, because the momentum they're on right now, they are looking good, and I'm a little scared because right now we've had a week off, and getting ready for this, preparing for this game, getting ready for and not to mention kind of have our eyes already set on the national championship against possible opponent USF, who's been number 2 all season long. I think we got ahead of our things. I think at least talking to Coach Bonds, he says they've been kind of thinking ahead and not really focused on too much Baylor. But yeah, we really need to focus on Baylor and really not take them for granted, because if we can't win this game, we can't go to the national championship. That's just how it's going to be. And they are ranked there, and they can bring us down quite a bit. I would say we'd still be in the top 10, but I don't think we would get a decent bowl, going to the bowl season. So we really need to make sure we can cool off Baylor and make sure they don't continue this hot streak that they've been on right now. They've been winning. I think they won 5 straight here out of the last 7. So they have been red hot, and they are ready to go. So we'll try to see what we can do as we are in Big D for this Big 12 championship game. If you guys want to see more of this content, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification as well, so you guys can be notified of this video series and any video series here on the channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Discord, as well as our other social medias down below. And of course, don't forget, we do have other great content on our second channel over on ESGNet plus LP. But that's it. Coming up here, the next videos you guys should see are some of the conference championship games coming up, and I believe the first one you guys will see here will be the SEC championship game between number 4 LSU taking on number 7 Auburn. So that'll be the first one, and then we've got American Conference with SMU versus UCF. That should be a good game. I cannot wait to you guys see that one. That's going to be a really good game. We'll see if UCF can keep the streak they've been on. But that's it for me, guys. Again, take care of yourself and each other. Have a great day. As always, I will see you guys next time. Go Scotty Nation.